right. What's going on, y'all? What's going on? This is DJ Jesus Beats. I am doing a double video here on Facebook Live and also on YouTube. So tonight's message is a strong message to all Christian rappers out there in the faith. So if you see me looking at two different screens, it's because I'm looking at two different phones right now, doing a live video on both YouTube and also on Facebook. My strong message to all Christian hip-hop rappers, or whatever you want to call yourselves, is not here to argue about the title, but I'm here to address what the elephant in the room, and I'm here to give some strong encouragement, some strong words. Not strong words like cussing and stuff, but y'all know what I'm talking about for those who personally know me. Listen, my strong advice for all of my Christian rappers out there is to continue to do music that's very powerful. Now, last week I did a post where I addressed the whole Christian hip hop community. And as soon as I can find it, I probably can't find it when I post it up, but to summarize it all up, I gave some encouragement to all of the Christian rappers out there to continue to keep making songs that talk about politics, that talk about real life issues, talk about racism, talk about sexism, homosexuality, murder, death, things that really hits home for a lot of people. Because, to be honest with you, hip-hop is the only genre of music since the start. The create of rap itself has been the only genre of music that has been able to touch the masses of people, where the artists are able to speak from the heart and speak from the truth in their music. Now, singers have done it too, but singers are more incognito with their music because they're going to use a lot more metaphoric and it's, of course, because it's a lot more singing involved in melodies and chords and riffs. But with hip-hop, it's totally different. With hip-hop, you get to use your bars, your similes, your punchlines. You get to use adverbs, adjectives, nouns, pronouns, everything that you can throw into a sentence that rhymes, and whether it is 16 bars or 24 or 32 or 48 or how many bars you want to put into your music. But the great thing I love about Christian hip hop artists since for most of the last 4 or 5 years, and not just and even way before that, okay, so let's go way before that, is that the Christian rappers have been able to be the voice of the music when it comes to social injustice and on racism and on political issues and on what's going on out in the streets. The same deal goes for the hip hop artists. The reason why I'm using the strong encouragement to talk to you tonight on this video, and for those who will watch this later on, is because there are a lot of individuals out there who don't look like you and me. Now, I'm gonna be real. They don't look like you and me. They don't have the same skin color like us. And for those who do understand, listen, and y'all can call the race car you want on this, but I'm gonna call it just what it is. Unless you have been around a lot of us, whether we come from different walks of life, and you've been able to understand that hip hop and rap music from the beginning, from the start, was created. The way that God allowed to create was to be the CNN, the NBC, the CBS, the Fox, the MSNBC, and the news of the streets, the community. And the artists of the past, whether they were not saved, I'm not talking about just only saved but unsaved, but I'm just talking about people like MC Lyte and Curtis Blow. You got great groups like Chuck D and from Public Enemy with Flavor Flav, and you have EPMD, Rakim. The list goes on and on of artists from the past who have been able to use the mic and the power of the mic to address the issues that's going on at their time in the community. Now let's fast forward to Christian rappers, and we've been seeing people like Cross Movement and groups like that, and even people like Canton Jones now, and even Lecrae and Bizzle, Thizzle, You got Reconcile. You have, I mean, there's so many artists I can name off the top of my head, and it just be, I'll be here naming artists all night, but y'all get the gist of what I'm talking about, that have really spoken and been the mouthpieces for what's going on out in the communities and stuff like that. And not just only about black on black violence and just about regular things. I mean, they are talking about things that most people don't want to talk about. So the reason why I did this video is because I've been seeing some posts, and these posts that have been coming from non-black people. And I'm being real. I'm reading these posts. The sidebar. These are the what you call the hidden subliminal shots at black rappers and Christian rappers who are taking a stance not just against a black versus white issue, but taking a stance with speaking about what's going on in their frame and their focus and what they're seeing in what's going on in the culture. And what I'm seeing now is there's a lot of a backlash that's going on. I read this one comment that this one person made, and this one person said, this was in a group post, but this one person said, I also think we're all tired of political agendas and being told what to think every time we turn around. Entertain me, grow my faith. I'm done being educated by every Tom, Dick, and Joe that has a mic. Now, this is coming from somebody who is not black. It's a subliminal message. Now, this whole message that was, in context, it was in context towards another topic in regarding Lecrae's album sales. And so he wasn't the only one. There was a lot of other ones who were pretty much nailing it on the money, saying that Lecrae's album sales were probably low because he's lost his fan base. More likely the white evangelical Christians, because of the fact that he's in his albums, he's talking more about racial injustice and serious issues that's going on in his country. And I had to think about it because, I'm listening to the album, and his album is almost kind of similar to Sho Baraka's The Narrative. It's close, almost similar to Sho Baraka's Lions and Liars album. And what we're starting to notice now is a lot of our black Christian rappers are starting to be more aware of what they're talking about in their music. Now, so like I said, for those who are coming in, you're probably saying, well, this is another black and white issue. No, well, yes, technically it is, but I'm not going towards that. I'm just addressing what I'm seeing in facts. So my encouragement for every single Christian rapper out there who is bold enough to start talking about these stuff. I want y'all to continue to do music that's talking about racism. I want you to talk about stuff that's talking about taking the knee, about America, about white privilege, about black on black crime, about white on white crime, about rape, murder, incest, serious issues that I think needs to be addressed in the music. Now, these songs that I'm talking about, I'm not here to tell y'all that these songs are just going to be leading people to Jesus Christ. I'm here to tell y'all that what hip hop has always stood for, and it's always been created by, like in the form of rap, has always been about the artist talking about what's going on in the culture. And I don't think those who are not black don't understand that hip hop music is not just about entertainment. Yes, the music industry has made it about entertainment because it's a white owned entertainment industry that's about 90% black owned artists. So the white industry, the big execs up there have taught us that we need to make dumb music, which is why Cardi B's song is #1 right now. which is why Migos song was number one when it was out before, which is why all these other artists keep being number one. Is not because of what they're saying, it's because it's dumb rap, and it's dumb rap makes it sells more money. And the more that you hear these songs, the more you become numb to the fact that you don't understand that the lyrics is weak, but the beat is hot, and which our kids are addressed to. So Cardi B's song sounds hot, yes, but when you listen to the lyrics, and you actually, if some of y'all will actually look at those lyric sheets, because all you got to do is Google the lyric sheets on the song and read the lyrics without rapping it. Read it in verbatim. I will guarantee you that you're going to hate that song the way it is, because the lyrics itself makes the song sound dumb, but the beat is hot. That's what the industry is all about. So for all my Christian rappers out there, I want y'all to continue to keep making music like that, because I'm going to keep playing it. As a program director and station owner of Hot 316 Radio, I play it because my station is a Christian hip hop and R&B full-fledged 24/7 internet-based radio station. And so if the gospel stations or anyone else don't want to play it, so be it. I'll play it. I'll play it on my radio show, the DJ Gsb Show, because I need more music like that. Because our youth and our adults need to hear about these things. See, for those of you who are not black that's watching this for the first time, and you're probably saying, why is this dude sounding pro-black? Well, the reason why I'm not trying to sound pro-black. I'm trying to state facts as far as if you are a fan of hip hop and rap music, it's time for some of you to go back to the basics. Go back to history and understand that the music was first created, and the music that was out before all these other artists, whether they were Christian or non-Christian, was to be the CNN of the community, of the black culture, of the black hoods, the ghettos, the burbs, the other low income areas and places where it was high crime rate at, and in places where most of these young brothers and sisters had came from, where they were rapping about what they saw on a day-to-day basis. So not everybody is going to be living in no nice cul-de-sac like you might be living in. And not all of us are going to be living in a nice neighborhood where you might be living in a gated community. Your next door neighbors, and everybody might be a fireman, a police officer, a EMT medic, a military person, and all these melting pots of what we call what America is great for. A lot of us don't have that type of environment. I'm blessed to have old school neighbors, but around my environment in other places, so many people are not blessed to have that type of environment. So the one music source that connects people throughout the world that has always been dominant is hip hop music. But of course, the industry has watered it down to make it dumb rap. So for those of you who are sitting here on your high horse and in your white privileged areas and your nice neighborhoods and all your other stuff, and you're sitting there saying that hip hop music, these artists need to shut up and they need to make entertaining music, I got news for you. You need to wake the heck up. Because how can you say that you are a true Christian rap, Christian hip hop, or even a true hip hop fan and supporter of hip hop if you're not willing to understand the culture? It's more to hip hop than just seeing black people perform. Hip hop is about how these people are living in their lifestyle. Now, I don't endorse all the secular stuff on the hip hop side. I'm not here to tell y'all how to endorse that stuff. All I'm saying is, in Christian hip hop, when I hear people like Bizzle and Lecrae, and people like maybe like a Brinson and K Drama, and there's so many names. Okay, I can't. I'm not gonna sit here and name names all night, but y'all get the gist of it. There's a lot of artists. When I hear their music and what they're talking about in there, it really makes me proud to understand that yes, we all worship and believe that Jesus Christ, our Lord and Savior. But we also have to still talk about what's going on in real life, in context of real life. So my thing is, for every Christian rapper out there, be bold about talking about topics that most people might feel is a taboo. Because you don't know how much your music and your song might make an impact in somebody's life to educate them, to encourage them, to help them out of a situation. You don't know. Now, of course, you're a Christian, so we know you're going to put God into the music, all right? God is going to take that for you and make the music anointing. But you also have to make your music where it makes an impact on people's lives. So for those of you who think that just hip hop music should just only be entertaining and we should not be educating people and stuff like that, you are part of the 5% of this nation that believes that music should be dumbed down to the masses. And I really have issues with that. Because when I start seeing young people of today and how they don't have manners, how they just say stupid things nowadays, how we just accepted any doggone thing. We accepted Cardi B as number one because she was a stripper and had this great testimony, but we don't realize that her music is hurting young black women of today. So we can sit here and argue back and forth, and I don't want to argue back and forth about that stupid stuff. I just want to say, yes, the beat and everything sounds hot, the rap flow sounds hot, but when you listen to the lyrics and you actually read the lyrics for yourself, can you honestly, if you have a daughter right now, can you honestly sit there, read that to your daughter and tell your daughter to believe that same way? If you have a daughter, I have 2 sons, so of course, my sons are still young, but if you have a daughter right now, she's a teenager, and you read those lyrics to her. I'm not talking about play the beats and stuff. Read the lyrics for what it is. Can you educate her on that? How would you think your daughter would feel about that? I mean, would you actually want your daughter to be like that? But that's a whole nother narrative. So, in conclusion, I just want to encourage everyone out there, every Christian hip hop rapper or whatever you want to call yourself. I don't give a care if you call yourself an inspirational vocalist. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me what your title is. I want to encourage y'all to continue to allow God to use you to be bold, to make music that's educating and enlightening and empowering people all over this world. It doesn't have to be black, and it doesn't have to be a certain race. It has to educate everyone, because if you don't do it, like I said, the number one song in the country right now is a dumb song that's going to make all your daughters dumb. And it's going to make your men feel like they're weak. It's going to make these young boys feel like they ain't nothing. So that's for proof. So those who complain about hip hop and complain about the music, you probably haven't understand what hip hop culture is yet. And it's only going to what we see in the world today is the music and everything is going to take a chance. Satan is operating in full force, and so what we're seeing out there is dumb music inside of hip hop culture. But for a lot of you have to understand what hip hop culture is, because hip hop culture reflects around the people who actually do the music on a nonstop basis and what they look like and how their lifestyle is. So that's all I got to say about that. If you got any questions about anything, please feel free to ask your questions right now. You can type your questions in there. I'll answer some of your questions. And but I just want to give that encouragement to all the artists out there. Don't ever let somebody bully you into believing that your music is ineffective and that we need to start just making entertaining music. We got a whole lot of entertaining Christian hip hop music right now. And I'm not here to dog nobody out. I'm not here to put anybody down. I'm not here to say anything negative about the styles of music, because I play them all. But I do believe that we do need a lot more of you artists, Christian rappers, to continue to keep stepping up to the plate and really address a lot of issues. People are dealing with suicide. People don't know how to cope with mass murders right now and death, because this is what's going on around the world and other countries, and including our country, the United States. People don't know how to deal with learning how to handle an agree to disagree moment, where we might not see eye to eye on a lot of issues in real life, but we should be able to still have a great dialogue with one another, where your point of view is your point of view, my point of view is my point of view, but at the end of the day, it's not up to any one of us to convince each other to change or to force each other to change. It's up to each one of us to take a little bit of what we learn from each other and say, well, maybe I might not understand what he or she was saying at that moment. Maybe I don't understand it. Maybe I might disagree with it. But hopefully maybe sometime down the line, maybe a few days or months, weeks, who knows, maybe a year or so, you might get a better understanding, a better new frame of mind and say, you know what, I think when that last conversation I had with such and such, we actually had he or she was actually right on that issue. Because a lot of times we don't see things from our own lens. We only see it from our own lifestyle, our own way of walking. So, the perfect example I can give y'all is like in my area, we are divided in like I live in Beaufort, South Carolina. So in our area, it's like all one big mass island of different chains of islands. But we are divided by this main river. So we have the city of Beaufort and the islands, the northern part of the islands, as separated from these other two towns of Bluffton and Hilton Head. And Hilton Head is like one of the richest places where people come. So down there, people live in gated communities. They're cut off from, not saying cut off from society, but they live in a nice neighborhoods. They have access to a lot more things than we do. So a lot of people might say, well, you know what, they're getting spoon-fed, and they're living on plantations that used to be slaves, used to work the lands, which are now golf courses and so forth and so forth. So we do have those type of environments down here where we try to address that on the radio show, and how my way of life is totally different from theirs. But I don't try to bash them. I just try to get them to understand. And most of them come from Ohio anyway. It's mostly Ohio people down here. So. But that's it. I don't want to go too far than anything. I hope that this was enlightening for a lot of you. I hope it encourages you. So if you're an artist, you do Christian rap or ministry rap or whatever, holy hip hop or whatever title you want to call it, still continue to preach the gospel, but at the same time, allow God to use you to make songs that are bold about talking about real life issues. Because believe it or not, there are a lot of people who look at what we play, not just only on my station, but other places around the world. They listen to the Christian hip hop music and they love it. And they love it because a lot of you artists who are doing music are being very bold about your stance. Whether you believe that, in biblical terms, or you talking about real life issues. So that's it, y'all. I'm out of here. If you got any questions about anything, please feel free to hit me up. All right. God bless you. Stay safe, and always remember, Walking Right produces a divine move. I'll be back in later on. I didn't want to do a video this time on what's going on in Las Vegas because we're praying for the people, but I just didn't want to talk about it right now. There's too much stuff going on right there. So God bless you.